You are watching Area DMG.
And welcome back to Radio DMG. I'm your host, Phil Wesley, the Mile High Mouth. I'm here at Colorado Anime Fest 2017 with
Caitlin Glass.
So, just in case our studio audience isn't familiar with who you are and what you do, who are you and what do you do?
My name is Caitlin Glass, and I am an anime and video game voice actress and director.
Is there anything that people may know you from?
Probably. You know me from FullMetal Alchemist. I play Winry. Or on High School Host Club, I am Haruhi Fujioka. If you're a gamer, you probably know me as Cammy White from Street Fighter 4 and 5, and a bunch of other stuff.
So, is this your first time in Colorado?
It is not.
It is not? Oh. So, when were you here before?
I was just here last year just for fun, visiting on a trip, and before that, it had been a number of years. But I've been to Denver before, and yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think of Denver?
It's cool. I love all the mountains. It's really nice. We don't have snow like that in Dallas at all, so just getting to look out the window and see snow is pretty. Otherwise, people are cool. It's a nice place. Cool town. Good place, Denver.
So, how did you get into voice acting? What compelled you to enter into that career?
I don't think I was compelled so much as I wanted to be a working actor. I was going to school, studying theater, about to graduate, and on a tour at Funimation Studios I ended up auditioning, and that's how I was hired. Turns out I had a knack for it, so I just kept at it, and now it's what I do for a living.
So you were starting out as a serious actor that became a voice actor. No, I'm kidding.
I'm still a serious actor.
Okay.
I'm seriously a voice actor. But yes, I was studying the craft of acting, if that's what you mean. I was seriously pursuing it with plans of it being, my livelihood, and it is. So it can happen. You can get a theater degree and have a job.
So what got you started into theater?
I started acting when I was in elementary school, just because it was fun. I mean, everybody does the school play or the classroom show or whatever, church plays. So that's how I started doing it. Friends of mine in middle school started acting at community theaters, and that just seemed like something to do for fun. So that's mainly why I started doing it, because it was fun. And then I decided that it's what I loved doing more than anything else, so that's what I would study. That's that.
So when did you realize you fell in love with the theater? What was the first play or theater production that you realized, this is what I need to do?
I'm not sure that I could tell you. I don't know. I don't really know.
It just kind of snuck up on you? One day you're like, wait, I have to do theater.
It's just what I was pursuing all through high school. I did music, played an instrument, I sang, and I did drama. And I didn't want to study music in college, but you have to decide what you want your major to be. And it's just what I was the most interested in and the most passionate about. So it was kind of a no-brainer. Everybody's like, oh, if you're going to the arts, you need something to fall back on. That's nice and all that, and that's smart, I suppose, but I think that that's also setting yourself up for failure. So it's like, if you want to succeed, believe that you're going to, and go for it. And I'm here, and I'm proof of that, so.
It's kind of like, if you set that goal, you'll eventually reach it.
Well, hopefully, yeah.
So what do you think of, speaking of setting goals and such, what do you think so far of Colorado Anime Fest?
I think it's great. It's only their second year, and everything's really wonderful. The fans seem to be having a really great time, and everything runs very smoothly and efficiently. Even for being just a 2-year con, I know it's run by folks that have been in the convention business, for lack of a better term, for decades. So they know what works and what doesn't work, and I think that's why it's running so smoothly. And if you've got happy fans and happy guests, then it's a good convention.
So how many of these conventions do you go to each year?
About one a month.
One a month?
Yeah, usually.
Kind of a busy schedule between, like...
I'm a full-time actor and director, so it's hard to get away, but I make the time usually about once a month.
So how do you make the time to get away from all of that and to just kind of kick your feet up and relax a bit?
Oh, convention, you get away from... I'm confused.
Well,
to come to a con?
Well, no, like a busy work schedule and such. How do you balance the work and your personal life?
That's tricky. It's really rather hard to say. Perhaps I don't do a very good job at that. I have a very understanding husband. I often have to bring work home. But he gets that, and so long as I make sure to make time for us, everything's cool.
So, is there anything that you're currently working on that you'd like to go ahead and promote?
I'm currently directing a show called Fuka. You can see it streaming on Funimation.com. If you don't have a subscription, you can do a free trial for, I think, 2 weeks. But the subscription is really cheap, and I recommend everybody to do it. It's only about $6 or $7 a month for all the anime you could possibly consume in English. So that's what I'm currently directing. It wraps up in the next few weeks, and I'll be moving on to something else, but I don't know what that is yet.
You don't know yet.
No, don't know yet.
It's one of those things where you just kind of get surprised by that.
No, that's not true. No, we have a list of the shows that we've licensed, but I don't know which show I will be receiving.
So going back to balancing home life and work life and such, what do you do outside of work? Like, what are your hobbies?
I have 2 dogs, so I like to spend time with them. I enjoy crafting when I have time for that. Just being with my husband and spending time together doing whatever it is that we feel like doing at the time. Going somewhere, taking a road trip, going shopping. Like, who cares? Whatever it is, just so long as we have time to spend together. That's the main thing. I do still perform and do theater. So while that may sound like work, that's kind of what I spend free time on, because work is anime. And theater is fun.
So what have you currently done in theater?
I am currently in a production of Merry Wives of Windsor that will open on Monday with a company called Shakespeare in the Bar in Dallas.
I've actually not heard of that one. What's it about?
Seriously?
Merry Wives of Windsor. I'm like, that's not ringing a bell. I know what Shakespeare was like. Ringing a bell.
The Merry Wives of Windsor is Shakespeare's true English comedy of all his comedies. And essentially, he wrote it because Queen Elizabeth wanted a romantic comedy play about John Falstaff, and Falstaff is a character from the Henry plays, and also one of the Richard plays. And I could go on and on because I know, yeah. But Merry Wives is about Falstaff kind of flirting with these 2 married women, and he's a big buffoon of a guy, and so the women decide to make a fool out of him, and that's what the play's about. And also, one of the wives has a daughter, and these 3 other guys are all vying for her daughter's hand in marriage. So that's the other plot. Yeah.
Well, going back again to your the home life stuff. You mentioned you had 2 dogs. What kind of dogs?
I have 2 French bulldogs.
What are their names?
Their names are Torito and Bonnie.
Any particular stories behind those? Or
Torito is named Torito because I got him when we lived in Spain, and that's the name that he came with. And Torito means little bull in Spanish. Bonnie is named Bonnie because we got her in the States, but we were in Ireland at the time when the breeder sent us a picture, and her fur is white with red, and so she looks kind of like a redhead, so we call her Bonnie because it's a Irish word for pretty. Yeah.
Well, sorry, it's been a long day.
Yeah.
I'm just it's the altitude, it just kind of gets to you. They making sure you drink lots of water and stuff here?
Plenty of it.
Definitely. So, what are you looking forward to about this convention?
Well, just being here is great. I can't say that there's any one thing that I'm looking forward to the whole weekend. It's just nice to be at a new con, meeting new people, and having a good time with everybody.
And speaking of the convention and the people attending it, have you seen any interesting cosplay yet?
I've seen some guys dressed as zombie Nazis from a Call of Duty game. That was pretty weird. I've also seen some folks dressed as my characters. I've seen a really cute Animal Crossing cosplay. There's some really good cosplay this weekend.
Yeah, we have a lot of expert cosplayers here in Colorado. It's pretty good.
Cool.
I like this. This place is pretty good. Have you been out and about yet since you've been here? Or
no, I arrived this morning at 2:00 in the morning. So
goodness.
I have not left the hotel since I got here.
That sounds a little rough.
Yeah, it was a bumpy ride, but it's okay.
Well, going back to like the home life work life thing. Are there any things like that you do, like books or movies?
I
that you're
actually
reading
don't watch too many movies or go to the movies very often. I used to a lot, but my husband is not very fond of it, and like I said, I just like to spend time with him, so we won't normally go. Yeah, we'll watch cartoons a lot at home, not anime, but just other cartoons.
So, how did you two meet?
Doing a play.
Oh, what play?
Yeah,
It's like my parents met. Like, I think they met each other on like Camelot. It has something to do with Camelot. They haven't told me the whole story yet.
Well, that is a musical, so that is probably they were in the musical. If I had to guess.
I'm not sure. They won't. They haven't asked. Haven't like gotten that information out of them.
My husband and I met doing a play called Tobacco Road. We played brother and sister.
What's that one about?
It's super depressing. It's about a family in the Dust Bowl region of the country being extremely, extremely poor.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a very famous play, actually, so you should look it up.
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely look that one up.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned earlier about how, like, you just need to, like, when you set a goal, you need to set that goal and just go for it, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of like, people have to kind of, believe in themselves for that, right? Going back a little bit also to the convention, what would you say the energy is about this convention so far?
It seems positive.
Pretty vibrant, pretty energetic?
Yeah, I'd say so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed at many conventions actually is that at a convention you'll see people who are like just bouncing off the walls, hyper and happy, and then really, really vibrant, taking in that energy. But when they leave the convention and go on to like school and work and such, they tend to close up a little bit and leave that energy at the convention. Mm-hmm. Do you have any suggestions on how people can take that energy that they feel at these conventions and apply it to their everyday life to deal with the stress or of work or school?
I can't exactly say that I have advice, but I mean, I think it's probably okay to put away some of that energy. I mean, the way you behave at a convention is supposed to be different than the way you behave at your job and at your school. I mean, I would hope.
It's kind of taking that joy from the convention.
I suppose it's just they need to take hold of the person that they feel that they are here, which is probably their truest self, and aim to still be that person at their workplace or school environment or at home. Even if you're not wearing a costume and you're not, singing and staying up to all hours and bouncing off the walls and etc. But just remember what it feels like to just be real and be that person all the time.
Thank you very much. Before we go, is there anything that you'd like to go ahead and promote or?
Not really. Not besides Fuka and just Funimation in general. And go to Funimation.com and sign up for their streaming service. I promise you won't regret it. It's all the anime you could possibly imagine.
Oh, and where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter at Caitlin's Voice, CAITLINS Voice, or on Instagram, Glass Caitlin. I'm also on Facebook, Caitlin Glass Voice Actor.
Mm. And thank you very much for this interview. I've been your host, Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and I'm here at Colorado Anime Fest with
Caitlin Glass.
And thank you very much. And until the next episode comes out, you are now caught up.